Welcome back to episode 4 on understanding SEO. Now we'll be talking about the different types of SEO techniques that are there relevant in the SEO domain. And they are known as different types of strategies which can be implemented, which you might have heard as Blackhat or Whitehat SEO. So what does Whitehat SEO mean? So Whitehat SEO means all the techniques which are being laid down in Google Webmaster guidelines. So earlier it was called as Google Webmaster. Today we call it as Search Console. So in Search Console, you will find a lot of different parameters which are there, which are mentioned out, which are looking at the site health, how crawlable your website is, how many pages of your website have been indexed. All these things are being looked after, and what type of content Google is finding today on your website. So all these things are being looked in and looked after if you're following the Whitehat SEO techniques, which is the Google laid foundation for writing a good SEO. Apart from that, you must have heard a lot of thing called as Blackhat SEO or Blackhat techniques. Now what Blackhat techniques and all, some of the examples of creating Blackhat techniques very quickly is that you would create multiple websites to link to your main article or your main topic. Now, Google recognizes if it's possible that there are many people tweeting about you. It could be a viral topic. Now, Google understands that there would be a certain article which you have written, which people are retweeting, which people are putting it on Facebook and then linking it back to the website. So, social media multiple links are treated as organic social links. But if website links are showing up on random websites all of a sudden and they go beyond, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 per minute mark, that Google is finding through the search crawls, then it starts flagging it up as a Blackhat SEO. And there are measures in which Google does give you some leverage in terms of getting up on a rank, but the moment it starts finding that you have got made a change on your algorithm or made change on your web page to basically shortcut the algorithm or cut through the ranking system, then it starts taking your page completely off. There are many websites that I have got the opportunity to handle upon which have been penalized by Google. Remember this term, penalized by Google, that Google stopped indexing any web page coming from a particular domain. The entire domain can also be penalized for writing a content and then putting it through Blackhat SEO techniques. There is just one part of it, backlinks is one, but there are multiple other techniques which are there, which you will find on the gray market and all. Do not go for them, do not go for shortcuts. Always look for the main content way as the SEO method. Let it go through the organic search crawling and then rank it through. Then there's one more part which we call it as gray hat. Now gray hat falls somewhere between the two, Blackhat and the Whitehat SEO techniques, wherein there's some part which they are doing through the organic and the right Google Web Console guidelines, and certain parts they will be picking up which are against the guidelines, which is like multiple times they will be putting the same keyword here and there, keyword stuffing, copying content from somewhere else. All these things are what we call it as gray hat SEO, which will get removed off whenever there's a Google update. Now, understanding how many times does Google update its algorithm, you'd be astonished to know that more than 3,000 to 4,000 times per year there is an update in Google. There are majorly 4 or 5 updates which Google tells that it has done and proclaimed that this is going to be a major update, but almost 6 to 7 times a day there are changes to the Google algorithm because there's fine-tuning on certain keywords. For example, the moment when the coronavirus hit, it had to look after how to put in the COVID-related structures onto the Google search results, how to make people go to the nearest vaccination center. Things like these had to be pushed through the Google search updates. So this is how Google keeps on updating and reasons why it does it. At the same time, there were a lot of fake medicines that were being proclaimed by other people or miracle cures which were being put through. So Google had to also keep a stop on all of those by using or creating certain keywords under its banned list or keywords under no search list. So these are the ways in which it tries to clear off the clutter, because it wants to show people the usability and also have authority. If tomorrow anybody can start ranking up on Google, then Google will stop losing its relevancy and other people will start having problems with it. So Google doesn't want to have that kind of a scenario at all. Understanding that, we come to the fourth type of SEO strategy, which is coming out very popular nowadays, And I'm also meeting with certain clients who are facing this kind of issue, which is known as negative SEO. People writing negatively about you, using your same keywords or using your company, is also becoming a new trend. Now, these things are being picked up by Google because Google doesn't distinguish whether something is positive or negative news, but it just looks at what people are writing more about a particular company or particular topic. So negative SEO is one way to tarnish some other company's reputation by writing bad reviews on certain websites or certain areas which get much more higher showing up. So for example, HR people are having problems with Glassdoor because Glassdoor ranks the negative comments and negative reviews much higher as compared to positive reviews. So those pages which have negative reviews then get indexed by Google, and then they are there forever and keep on showing up in the results. So that strategy is known as negative SEO, which can also be countered by using Whitehat SEO. Remember this, the time and effort spent in Whitehat SEO is always the highest, but the return on investment is always the highest on Whitehat SEO because it stands the test of time and will always pass through seamlessly through any of the updates. If you're following any of the black hat techniques, grey hat techniques or negative SEO, sooner or later you are going to be having issues on your website that certain pages will stop getting indexed to a level wherein your entire domain can also be de-indexed and taken off searches. How to make sure that you're following the Google white hat technique? So these are the questions that you need to answer. One is you need to look at your content from an outside perspective. You must have written a content, you must have written a website or created a landing page. You think it's perfect, but ask a third person's perspective. Do you think this website or this image or this particular text that I've put in, does it make sense to the particular content that I wanted to create or the impression that I wanted the user to have about my website? That's the outside perspective. That's the first question that needs to be answered. Second question is your content unique and original? Unique is very important. For example, even if you're copy pasting any content over there, remember to modify it. Remember to write a spin about you. Add something that is coming from your own heart, which you feel if you would have read it, had more interest into reading it further. So create those kind of scenarios and create those kind of experiences through your content. Then, is your content useful and informative? Because if I have written something about it which is already relevant and which is already being seen on other websites, then I would have lesser chance of ranking through Google's eyes. So write something that is very informative, very useful, better than what other websites are writing. Okay. But make sure that your website has some useful information in it about a particular topic. Then, is your content better than your competitors? That is the major focus to do. Then, is your content engaging? When I mean engaging, what are engaging elements on a web page? Because on a website, if you're writing too many paragraphs, then those paragraphs, if they are too much closer to each other, then the relevancy goes away. The user is not going to be engaging a lot. So write 2 or 3 lines on every paragraph. Do not go more than that. Do not clutter the entire web page. Keep them spaced out. Put in some quotes, put in images which are vibrant in colors so that the user keeps on engaging, keeps on scrolling, keeps on reading. That creates more engagement. So the longer your content is, the longer time the user is spending on it, the better the Google finds that your website is giving a better experience to the user. So concentrate on those aspects. Then, are there any grammar or spelling errors? Those things should also be checked upon. And you should write about which area you're writing. So for example, if you're writing only for Indian audience, make sure that you're using the Oxford or the English UK based library for spell checks. If you're writing it for American audience, you use only the American based spell checks. Then, do you have any broken links, like some links which are going to 404 or going to a website which does not exist? Then that's a red flag. You should not be doing that. If they are, correct them or remove off the link entirely. Then, do you have excessive ads? Now, certain people, they like to put in clutter in a lot of ads. It's a big no. It shouldn't even have a pop-up. So pop-ups, all these elements are to be removed off. In fact, Google nowadays does an image search as well. So what it does, so Google tries to see on that image or the screenshot that it's taken on its computer, it runs from image to text algorithm. So it converts all the text elements that it's find on the screen or the viewport, which we call it as, all the text on the viewport, is it matching to the content that we had sent across in the crawlers? So it tries to match that up. If it finds a pop-up over there or anything like that, your website will get penalized. It will not show it on a higher rank. It will start taking it on a lower rank. Then, are you moderating your blog comments? Because that's also very important. If you have opened up the comment section, then you're bound to get a lot of unwanted links here and there which keep on showing up, which are spam links. So you need to keep on moderating them and need to keep on removing them. So these are some of the basic content analysis and things that comes under the Whitehat SEO. And with that, we come to the end of topic of understanding Whitehat and Blackhat SEO and all the different strategies and how to make sure that your website is following the Google guidelines. And with that, we end this session. Thank you. Do like, subscribe and share. And don't forget to comment your questions if you have any. We'll be answering them shortly. Thank you.